Hello everybody, happy Wednesday. Let's put on our attentoscopes and get ready to learn some math. All right, on my screen, I'm noticing 8 apples. I'm noticing 8 apples. Do you see my 8 apples? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm seeing there are 2 parts. These apples are spread out into 2 parts. I'm seeing 5 red apples here. I'm seeing 5 red apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red apples. Do you see my 5 red apples? Awesome. And then I'm seeing that the rest of the apples are green. I'm seeing that the rest of the apples are green. We're going to use our number bond to help us figure out this problem. All right, now let's think. What do we know? What do we know? We're trying to figure out how many apples are green. We know that we have 8 apples altogether. 8 apples. All right, so I'm going to write 8 in the top of my number bond because I know that 8 is our total. We have 8 apples total. And then we know that there are 5 red ones. There are 5 red ones. Okay, so I'm going to write 5 in my other number bond side. So we know that number bonds, the top box is our total, and the bottom 2 boxes are 2 parts. And the 2 parts have to equal the total, don't they, friends? The 2 parts have to equal the total. So that I'm going to write a number sentence to help me think about what I'm meaning. So the 2 parts of our number bond have to equal the total. So that means 5 plus something has to equal 8. 5 plus something has to equal 8. Okay, but yesterday we learned a way to use subtraction in number bonds. We used subtraction and we figured out that if we have 8 as our total, we could take away those 5 apples because we know that those 5 apples are red and we're trying to figure out how many are green. So those 5 apples aren't helping us solve this problem, count up our green apples. So if we take away those 5 apples, then we can figure out how many are left, just like in my second number sentence. So let's use my picture to help us solve this problem. Let's first use addition, counting on. So we have 5 red apples, and we need to get to 8. So everybody hold up 5 fingers. 5 fingers. Now we need to get to 8 all together. So let's count on together to help us figure out how many more it takes to get to 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. How many fingers did you add to get to 8? 3. I added 3 fingers. Did you add 3 fingers? Nice work. Let's use our picture to help us check our answer. So we know that we have 5 apples right here. That's our 5. And there's a total of 8 apples altogether. So let's use hops and see how many hops it takes for us to get to the 8 apples. So 5, 6, 7, 8. How many hops did I use? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. 3. So 5 plus 3 equals 8. And that means 3 goes over here in our number bond. But let's use subtraction also to check our work because this should be the same answer. So if I have 8 apples, I'm going to draw 8 apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I take away 5 of those apples because those are my red apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we don't want the red apples. We only want green. How many apples are left? 3 apples are left. Great job. So we can use addition and subtraction to help us solve these problems. Addition and subtraction. And it's a great way to check your work because when you have number sentences like these ones, you should be getting the same answer in those boxes. All right? Let's do another one to help us. So, here it says, solve. Use simple math drawings to show how to solve with addition and subtraction. So we're going to have to be using addition and subtraction to help us solve these problems. There are 5 apples. All right, 5 apples. I'm going to go ahead and draw my 5 apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 apples. 4 are Sam's. 4 of them are Sam's. Okay, I'm going to fill in my number bond as I go. 4 of them are Sam's. So I'm going to write 4 in my number bond right here. Now let's keep reading. I read there are 5 apples. Then I read 4 are Sam's. The rest are Jim's. Okay, the rest of the apples are Jim's. How many apples does Jim have? So we're trying to figure out how many apples does Jim have. Okay. What can I do to solve this problem? Well, I drew my 5 apples already, and I have one part of our number bond. I need to figure out what this other part is for our number bond. What is that other part? Let's fill in this number sentence to help us think about the math we have to do. We know 4 is one part, plus something will equal 5, because 5 is how many apples we have all together. So let's count on from 4 till we get to 5 to see how many more apples Jim has. 4, 5. 4, 5. We only had to add once. So Jim, how many apples does Jim have? 4 plus what equals 5? 1. Great job. All right, now let's use our picture to help us solve this problem too. Because we need to solve it using addition and subtraction. That's what the directions are telling us. Addition and subtraction. So we have 5 apples. That's my 5 apples that I drew. 4 of them are Sam's. But we're trying to figure out how many are Jim's. So we need to get rid of Sam's apples. So I'm going to cross off 4 of my apples because those are Sam's, and I'm trying to figure out how many Jim has. So when I cross off Sam's 4 apples, how many apples are left? 1. Good job. Only 1 apple is left. So how many did I take away from 5? How many apples did I take away from 5? We took away 4. And then we were left with 1. So how many apples does Jim have? He has 1 apple. Good job. 1. Okay, let's do one more. There are 8 mushrooms. All right, pause. Let's look at what we have in our number bond, and let's draw our 8 mushrooms. So they already filled in that there 8 is our total in our number bond. And I'm going to draw my 8 mushrooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 are black. Okay, 5 are black. So I'm going to put 5 in my part as a part for my number bond. The rest are white. How many mushrooms are white? Ooh, okay. I'm going to use subtraction first to help me solve this problem. So we have 8 mushrooms, and we know 5 of them are black, and the rest are white. we're trying to figure out how many mushrooms are white. So what should we do with those 5 black mushrooms? Cross them off. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't want those mushrooms. We're trying to figure out how many mushrooms are white. All right. So how many mushrooms am I left with after I crossed off those 5? Count on my screen. How many mushrooms are you seeing that I'm left with? 3. We're left with 3 mushrooms. So that tells me that 3 of them are white. Now we need to fill in our number sentences. So what we did first was take away. We started with 8, and then we took away, how many did we take away? 5. We took away 5. And then how many mushrooms were we left with? 3. We were left with 3 mushrooms. All right, friends. Now we need to do an addition number sentence still. Let's look at our number bond to help us with this addition number sentence. We know that the top box is our total and the bottom box is our 2 parts. And we know that these 2 parts have to equal our total. So what could I possibly write in my number sentence to equal 8? What plus what equals 8? Great job. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Let's check my work to make sure I'm right. Let me draw 5 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 5. Now let me draw 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Count how many sticks I just drew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 plus 3 really does equal 8. Awesome. Okay, so today you're going to do for your independent work time, you're going to do some number practices that are just like this. You're going to do addition and subtraction to help you solve those number problems, and you're going to use pictures to really help you too. But then at the end, you're going to try something new. You're going to try coming up with your own math problem. You're going to try practicing coming up with your own math problem. Now, you might be thinking, Miss Sutton, this is really tricky. And I agree, this is pretty tricky, but I want us to try. We can try new things, right? So if you try and you say, you know what, Miss Sutton, I think I need to wait till tomorrow when we do this together in class, then that's okay. As long as you try something, that's all that I'm asking from you. So I really want you to just try something, okay? Because I bet you can do anything you put your mind to, and I bet you will surprise yourself with how smart you really are. So here's an example of what I mean when I say you're going to come up with your own problem. So here it says, use the number bond to complete the number sentences. Use simple math drawings to tell math stories. Okay. So I'm saying that they gave us 8 as our total. 8 as our total. And we know that they gave us 8 as our total because it's in that top box. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw 8 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I know that 6 is one of my parts. So I have to come up with a story that has something to do with 6. And we've been talking a lot about takeaway. And we know that we can't have more than 8 circles because 8 is our total. So we can't add 6 circles to those 8 circles because we can't have more than 8. So I'm thinking we have to take away. So here's what my story is going to be. Rachel was baking 8 brownies. 8 brownies. Those are the 8 brownies I drew. Then Mr. Spadaro came and ate 6 of my brownies. He came and ate 6 brownies. How many brownies are left? That's my story. So I need to figure out how many brownies are left. So Mr. Spadaro ate 6. So I'm going to cross off those 6 brownies he ate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was not very nice of him. So I had 8, and then I took away 6. How many brownies am I left with? 2. I'm left with 2 brownies. 8 take away 6 equals 2. So friends, when you see that last problem today in your math practice that says, try to make a problem on your own, I want you to try. And as long as you try your best, that's all I'm asking from you, okay? So it might be a little bit tricky, and that's okay. But we should try, because we're going to try. We're cruisers, and we try hard things, which is just what Miss Green and Mr. Spadaro remind us of. All right. So I hope you remember after this to watch your phonics lesson if you haven't yet, and do the math practice that goes along just with this lesson, okay, friends? And if you have questions, you can always come back and rewatch this video. If you say, I don't exactly remember what I'm supposed to be doing. How do I solve these problems? Come back and rewatch the video. All right, I'll see you later.